Anybody coming out here now? I don't even know if I got anybody coming through here now. We're going to see what we're working with. Anybody's here? I thought I'd pop on here live. See if anybody's coming through. See how we doing. I know it might be early for some. We're going to see what we're doing. See how everybody's feeling. And see where we are. I know it's kind of early. Maybe depending on where you are. But I thought I'd get in here. Got a lot to talk about. And see if anybody want to come on and bring it on. I just did a lot of week 1 football thoughts and takes. So it is the start of the football season. I will be doing my weekly intake on that. There's a lot to get into. There's some sorry excuses for quarterbacking right about now and some teams. I don't know if the quarterbacking is as bad as the teams are. That's pretty sad. But there were some sad situations that I observed over this weekend. And, a lot to take in. Of course, what's the bigger story right now? The start of football season or the whole fact that Lil Wayne wasn't picked to go to New Orleans to promote, to perform the Super Bowl, that Kendrick Lamar got that. You tell me what's the bigger headline. Because that's pretty big right now. And Jay-Z got a lot to explain to do. So we're going to see how it all turn out, though. If I get some people up in here and what have you, I'll be on here for at least a couple of hours today. I'm good for a couple hours show today. So I can't send out no ads because you know how sometimes the tube be tripping. But I am here live now, and I welcome anybody that comes through. And we can definitely talk it out, be about it, see what we're talking about. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope that it feels like summer still. Depends on where you live. Depends on where you live. Keep thinking I'm going to get a couple of heads to come through. But anyway, if I'm up here freestyling, then you can always catch the rebroadcast. Appreciate people joining up and coming along. It takes work, energy, and timing, but a lot of great contributors. And so glad to have people come through. And like I said, I'm going to be here for a minute. So we're going to see. I'll give you plenty of time. I'll go over what I discussed as far as football, what I saw in week 1, Kansas City and Baltimore. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Is for Lamar Jackson, whether he admits it or not, they're like his kryptonite. Even that game they beat Kansas City in, which was in Baltimore, was a wild game. He's never looked his best against Kansas City. Harbaugh, James, what's happening? I'm in the UK too. Where you at? Cardi Wolf, where you coming from? Tell me what part of UK you coming from. Do tell. Okay. I'm on the Isle of Wight. Isle of Wight. That's wild. Because Portsmouth is like over the water. That's wild. That's cool. Go be waffle. How you like it? You from there all your life? Yeah. Separated by a sea of water. Which sometimes it don't look. Well, I'm from the States. I live here now. My wife was from here, and I live here now. I know you don't find people with my accent over here, but it's such a distinctive place, though. Yeah. I've never been mistaken for someone from here either. That's that's a fact. But it's all good. It's all good. Rainy, and I'll tell you that, rainy and windy. So a strange day yesterday with some sunshine. All right, appreciate you coming through. Hopefully you'll come back again. Have a great day and thank you for stopping through. Sounds good. Cheers. All right, that was the first person coming through. That's all good. So, yeah. Um. Anyway, though, yeah, I got to watch the games yesterday. Um. They were. What's happening? Let's get it to it. Let's get it. See, I'm here nice and early now, so if you got questions, I'm here for a couple hours. So if you want to chop it up, bring it. Bring it. I'll even answer some of your basketball ones, but I'm in football mode. I'm going to tell you, yeah, week one has been, yeah, it's a lot to talk about. I don't know what's the bigger action on the field or this whole thing with the halftime show. It's crazy. It's crazy. Somehow you knew Jay-Z would be front and center of it, but take your pick. But yeah, let's get them questions go. Feel free. What you got? Well, wow, thank you, Jared Barker. I appreciate that. Um, I don't know what I've done to merit such an ultimate compliment, but bless your soul. I haven't even had too many of my family members tell me that. So appreciate you. Thank you so much. I really do. I really do. The best to you and yours too. Great question, Jay Will. Okay. So you saw he made that one completion by the sides and they got all excited, right? And please, Jared Barker, feel free to join members and everything. Feel free to come closer because if you got questions in the future, feel free. I'll welcome you. Um, Aaron Rodgers. He ain't done, but he ain't the guy you remember. And what I mean by that is this. That guy you saw in Green Bay that last year, that's mainly going to be him. He will have some moments where he looks good. I will answer that just a second. And do enlighten me about their latest stance on it because I didn't even know you could still DVD piracy policy. I don't even know there is still with all the streaming. That's a news flash to me. Please enlighten me on that. Um, he will have up and down moments, but he is 40 years old. He cannot take a beating. And I will say this to you too. If they are in against a team like the 49ers, which they're not going to see every week, but if they're against teams like that, they can't come back from 10, 15, 10-point deficits no more. He's not that dude no more. James Madison wasn't even a top tier back, and he ran over them like they weren't nothing. And they had no real offense. They had a couple nice drives, but he doesn't have the firepower to make it happen with his own arsenal. He's an older dude now. So he can make it, but they're not no threat. Don't let these bobbleheads and sticks on ESPN or Fox tell you otherwise. If their defense sucks like they did last night and they have to depend on him, it's gonna be a long season. It's gonna be a long season. So they'll be okay, but they're not a threat. They're not beating Buffalo and they're not beating the Dolphins. If New England's defense is half as good as it was last night, Now, that could be interesting. We're not beating Kansas City. I can tell you that now. I don't even know about DVDs still making. I don't even know because first of all, people are still messing with them. Well, okay, let me break those down for you. If that turkey don't play quarterback for the Titans spanked Chicago's behind yesterday. So that was just because of all that bad picks. So that's not going to be easy because the Titans did put up 17 and they didn't really lose to Chicago's offense. The Patriot game is going to be interesting. Depends on who's the quarterback for New England, but interesting. It could beat the Patriots. They should be able to. They should be able to beat the Broncos, but that's going to be interesting. The Vikings, I think Vikings will beat that butt because the Vikings might make them look like they made the Jets look. I mean, the Giants. I don't know if they can wax anybody of those teams. I'm afraid to agree with you. And he really ain't been the same since he left Houston. They done a number on him. Aside from I think it was half against playoff against Cincinnati, he looked bad. He looked bad. But you know, we still got to see how will play off. But if they talking about Jameson Winston to come get him, he in trouble. They got a squad on paper, but I don't know. You always do. That's not your problem. You always start off good. This ain't your problem. We don't really even worry about you till we get to January. That's the only time we worry about you. And I'll tell it like this. Of course, you had to re-sign CeeDee Lamb. Lamb is one of the best receivers going. Of course, you had to sign Dak Prescott. He's one of the best quarterbacks, and he fits your team. Because if Trey Lance had any kind of skill set and then throw 15 picks in the preseason, it might have been a different story. You don't have a backup plan. Cooper Rush and Trey Lance combined ain't one Dak Prescott. So, no, that's not going to. Mm-mm, mm-mm. So, I'm not surprised. The North Korea latest stance on DVD price. I need someone to tell me more. What's happening? I'm just wearing a hat. That's all. Just how I'm rocking it. That's all. That could be a compliment. Depends on what part of the country in the world you're in. But glad to have you. And where you from? They don't deserve to. They don't deserve to. I'll tell you why. They both got coaches who don't like they know what they're doing. And I know an Andy Reid, you gotta remember, you have to be Andy Reid, not quite. More Tom Landry style, not no. You have to be an Andy Reid type to get to Andy Reid. And what I mean by that, Andy Reid had his growing pains. Sean McDermott is having growing pains. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think he's the right fit for Josh Allen. Lamar has a head coach who won a Super Bowl with Joe Flacco. What's his excuse? Lamar is the best quarterback that Harbaugh will ever coach. What is the excuse? Not in this lifetime, Calvin Duke. Not in this lifetime. Um, the Lord will love me no matter who I don't have to vote for anyone that love the Lord. That's not politics. That's straight facts. They might not. Well, I'll tell you something, Jay. It's like the Tiger Woods, Phil Nicholson, VJ Singh. So one guy, you always get this with any sport, any generation, music, entertainment, or movie, all of it. There's always one dominant person, and everybody else got to wait their turn. It's how it is. If they get a turn. Mahomes is that dude for his generation. He's in my top 5 ever. He had style with the team. They had a stanza about them. They made them star a sign. You know. Your defensive coordinator started with the New York Giants. Dallas Texans was there forever. He's in my top 5 ever. I love Landry as a coach. I don't think he was the warmest, coolest. He was cool, but he was cool. But they were pristine, when his heyday, not the way it ended. Not the way it ended. But he was great. He had a distinctive way about him. That was a whole different era of Dallas Cowboys football. That was a different era. You'll never see that again. Yeah, well, bottom line is they could have been in the argument, but if Jordan Love gets healthy, comes back about a month or so, and they're still competitive, then don't count them out. But I still think Detroit's the better team in that division. So even if Green Bay was playing, but that was a bad stadium, and that was a bad opening matchup for them because Jalen Hurts hit that bomb to AJ Brown. That was not good. Yeah, he's my favorite Dallas Cowboy quarterback too. hmm Um, I just did a video about Week 1. Um, I don't remember. Did I even talk about that game? I think I probably may even forgot about it. It wasn't memorable. If they play like that, they won't make it past the first round, second round, because Kyler Murray was a problem early. Josh Allen did what he's supposed to do. I don't even think I even mentioned the game in it because I was kind of distraught about the way they look. They won, but there's so much hero ball. And they were very fortunate because Arizona was in the game. It's just a couple situations. I'm not impressed with that. I don't think Arizona is that deep. I think Kyler Murray's a good talent, but you can't be struggling like that at home. And you were trailing in that game, and you was giving up points too. And you got to play better than that. So it's a win, but it's not something I get excited about. Mm-mm. That was close for comfort. 34-28 against them. Best the way their season ended last year. No. So wasn't impressed. They got a big test coming up Thursday. They got Miami at home, so they got no time to they got to get it together. Which is the way I like it though. So, but no, I wasn't feeling it though. I ride out with Fields. I don't think Russell can do it. I think the problem is that you know what they say when you got two of the same thing, you really have none. They hoping they would love Russell to be something, but it really should come to Fields at this stage. We're not kidding ourselves that we're gonna go with the older dude to start. We bring him in as a relief pitcher. Russell needs to be like Nick Foles at this stage. If he catches on, more power to him. But there's no way in the way he should be starting over Fields. And that's not because they neither one of them. Fields lacks maturation, mentally and physically. And Russell is just kind of shot, you know. So, but Mike Tomlin always seems to figure it out though. Well, the Cincinnati always starts off slow. And they didn't have Chase, and they start off slow, so I can't read a lot into it. Pittsburgh looked ordinary, but again, they got whack quarterback play, so that's gonna be something. I felt the same way too. I thought the AFC North would be a lot tougher because going in, you look at it on paper, and then you think that's a heavyweight division. Baltimore looks flawed in the secondary. They got to a slow start. I hope that toenail don't come back to haunt them. Cleveland was lethargic, and that was just they just didn't they weren't in sync at all. So no, I think the division will get better by week 4 or 5. But you could tell there was some carryover, something going on. So yeah, they just play kind of stiff, and then they wake up about week 4 or 5. It's like Andy, like Joe Burrow's gonna be having a hangover, and it's like about week 4 or 5 to get it together. Except as long as he don't get hurt, You get hurt, that could be a long season. I think it's the way they lost to New England too, because they got manhandled. I mean, they got held to 10 points at the crib, so then they got to play Kansas City next week. So yeah, Cooper Rush. I remember he played a real poised game. They just have these moments where they just the first they don't take the opening part of the season serious, but they better because there will be if they don't get hot, they could be in trouble. That's funny. Well, I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting season. I'll tell you that right now. I can tell you that already. I could definitely see it being something. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, I see some people lined up, so feel free to come on in. Say something, say something. Don't be shy. If you're in the building, come on through. Got comments, takes, feel free. I welcome it. I welcome it. My timing just happened to be in right now, so. Let me look at my what I got marked down. So let me see. Any surprises? I guess you could say people might say New England defense. Um. Oh, I'll tell you what got me this weekend. Oh, okay, okay. Since I wrote it down. Um. Don't know. It wasn't New Orleans, Carolina. That was embarrassing. I'm gonna say that the game of Houston Indy was like that was a Richardson throwing bombs like that, matching CJ. That was impressive. That was a game. I was pleasantly surprised that game had some spark. I think Detroit and the Rams game having spark caught me off guard too because um I did not see the halves gonna be like that. It was something else. Okay, so you're saying he looks like Charles Barkley once he got out of Philly. They are a real problem because I'm gonna tell you like this. I do believe they quit on their coach last year, and I do believe that there was some problem. But now getting Saquon Barkley makes them and Frisco the best two teams in the NFC as far as I'm concerned. And Detroit's gonna have a case. That's how I look at it. And Philly's got a stacked squad, so yeah, he just need to get out of that old dump. And now the Giants gonna tank. They're running line for top pick of 2025. That's on Shane McVay. And then that's where you miss Aaron Donald. That's how big Aaron Donald is missed. They may have won that game with Aaron Donald this year. He doesn't know how to look off. And Matthew Statpad, as I call him, Stafford, if he ain't throwing bombs, haymakers deep downfield, he's problematic over the field. Stafford is predictable. But when he can throw that deep rock, he's just as scary as they come. But he telegraphs a lot. And ends up taking sacks and hurries. Oh yeah, they had him, they would have won the game because second half it was like two different halves. That's why the game went overtime. They got smashed up in the first half. In the second half, they came back. They didn't have no defensive stop. So Sean McVay gotta find something. Because they got a type of team. They could be a problem. The Rams could actually be a problem. Yeah. Remind me who they lost to in the play. Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. That's their problem. And that's sometimes it's just coaching, making adjustments. So we'll see. See, somebody else came in, so feel free. Well, he's athletic, and in this day and time, if you're poised and you can move with the rock, he's not done. I just think that the right coaching and the style and influence things have to be in view. He ain't done. Now, does he have the willpower to get better? That's the big question. That's the question. So I don't know. I don't know. But he ain't done though. He's got skills. You say that, but he's mobile. You say that, but he doesn't really get beat because of his size. He gets beat by choices that he makes. And sometimes he falls in love with, certain things that he do. And you know. But he's good and he's athletic. But I just don't think he necessarily has the right, how do I want to say, balance with the squad they got. I just I don't know. I haven't really examined Arizona enough to be interested, but we'll see. But don't sleep on him though. He's good. Okay. Let's get some more questions. I see some more people coming in. It's starting to kick in a little bit. Different topics, different things. See what people got to say. I got asked about a whole lot of different things that I was talking about. I know you talked about Terry Cavill. He got racially profiled, just like Khalees Campbell did. It was pretty obvious. They know where he's going to work. They know who the car belongs to. They know who he is. This guy was voted the best player in NFL by NFL Network. Not just the best player on his team, not the best player in his division, the best player in the NFL, so they say. He's a big known receiver. He goes to work with that car. They know who he is. There is nothing else to say, you know. This ain't like see, first of all, Jacksonville is crackheads. If you don't go man on man with him, he's gonna burn you left and right. You have to put a free safety, and you have to know how to selectively come and cover him because two is gonna draw you in. That's when he tets out. So you go for the pump fake to he catches you biting. Yeah, Tariq got wheels, yo. Okay, well name your five. Give me your receivers. Tell me who you got. I want to hear this. Because we're going to already know he ain't with Rice. He ain't with T.O. He ain't with Randy Moss. But so give me the ones you got after him. I want to know. You said 5 to 10, so go ahead. I want to know your list. Type out your list and I'll see where you got him. I got Marvin Harrison over him. Michael Irvin. That's 5 right there. So you said 5 to 10, so he's got to fit in the 6 to 10 slot. So what you got? Now, when you say 5 to 10, that means that he's great. He ain't good. Because that's what we mean. There's a difference. So I want to know. I want you to tell me. I am very curious about this. Rice, Moss, okay. But Harrison and Irvin got rings. Harrison and Irvin got better numbers. Harrison Irvin, um, I like him too. Well, I like him too, but I can't quite say that. I'm gonna tell you what works against him. If you want to hear my argument, Patrick Mahomes won 2 rings without him. Yeah, but you just heard what I said. Mahomes won 2 rings without him. That's the knock against him. What you think Tua is? You think that Tyreek Hill gonna be mentioned in the same breath with Jerry Rice? And we know Mahomes is mentioned with Montana. It's a different era too, and I don't think Tyreek Hill's gonna match what Jerry Rice did. Okay, I'm liking how you're dropping the knowledge. Well, Montana was a great quarterback, but to see, I'm gonna say it like this: I don't really put football like I do basketball or baseball. I know where you're going with that, but it doesn't necessarily translate the same because it's like Brady leaving New England, winning with Tampa, which is big for his personal, but it's different in football. It's different. So many other things have to roll in line with you. So many other things have to kind of like coexist to make it happen. Football's a different animal, though. Impressive, but it's a different animal. Of course, Jerry Rice went to a Super Bowl with the Raiders. They lost, but he was in the Super Bowl. So, hmm. So that's all I'm saying with that. Good comeback though about Joe Montana though. I like Tyreek, and I might put him in there. My top favorite films? Oh, what's happening? What's happening? Godfather 1 and 2, Taxi Driver, Do the Right Thing, Malcolm X off the top of my brain right now. Yeah, yeah. Honorable mentions is To Which Way Is Up with Richard Pryor, Love Coming to America. Thank you. Uh, um, Terms of Endearment, Saturday Night Fever, E.T. come to mind. Um, yeah, they come to mind. Um, Kramer versus Kramer. Hmm. Uh, The Matrix. See, my and the thing about it, I never get asked enough about films because I cover wide eras of films and eras that I like. There's a lot of different type of film I like for different reasons. Shawshank Redemption is one of them films that you can't get out your mindset. Um, Goodfellas, you know. Okay, great question. Roger Craig gets my vote. He made the 80s. He wasn't the 70s. He was in the 80s because he came out in the 80s. I remember because he was the first of his kind. Glad you stopped and through Spoonley. He was the first of his. It's cool. He was the first of his kind. The dual back, strong, athletic, multi-purpose. Um, Tougher era too, because when you do 1,000 running, 1,000 receiving, and that was a different style of offense. So just from the innovation alone, he should have got more attention. Shady was quicker, probably, but he played for a bunch of teams. He kind of is not seen in the same combination as Joe Montana. He's not seen in the same breath as Jerry Rice. He's not seen the same breath as Ronnie Lott. Yeah, That's what it comes down to. He's not seen as one of those dudes. I think it was because he's not considered a pure back. Strange as that sounds for being a dual back. Whereas you fast forward to Marshall Falk and Shady and Adrian James and some other guys, they were doing dual. And somehow he got taken for granted. Either that, or as I like to always say, he ticked somebody off and they holding against him. I haven't really done a lot of Roger Craig research. I mean, he came across like a pretty decent cat. But again, I don't know. I don't know what happened with media with him. I'd have to look that up. But sometimes you're not stand out enough. I mean, they wanted backs to still be backs, and they probably looked at him as kind of like a, I don't know, like kind of like a scat, like a quicker picker upper dude. So it's kind of like um, he was in an era when Tony Dorsett was playing, John Riggins was still playing, Marcus Allen, Billy Sims, Earl Campbell, Eric Dickerson. So, and they didn't really make a big deal about about their running backs. They didn't. I'm just saying. Man, they got O.J. Simpson when he was old and past the pull day with the 49ers, and that was a big name, but they didn't really have what you call, uh, now what you see with Debo and C-Mac is different, especially with C-Mac, but that wasn't their specialty. Even Ricky Waters, he got yards and stuff. He wasn't seen like that. It's always been about the quarterbacks and receivers getting the love in Frisco. This thing with C-Mac is like a bit of a novelty, if you must know. All right, now you just got to tell me what that mean in English. But I'm glad you came through. I'll say, see, it's a lot of politics about the Hall of Fame. You know, once you get past the obvious people, they get funny. Okay, glad more people are coming through. Like I said, I'm gonna be on, so I'm looking forward to it. Anybody wants to donate, feel free. Feel free, feel free. Maybe I have a poll question. I don't know. Let me see. I don't know what that means in English. Okay, so I got that up there real quick. We're going to see if anybody will vote on this. All right. So, anyway. By speaking different languages, different things. So let's see what we got. Anyway, keep on asking questions now. Don't get quiet on me now. Oh. Oh. I would say Torrey Holt, and then Steve Smith, and then Chad. Torrey Holt should be in, and then Steve Smith should be in next. I gotta thank you for reminding me. I gotta do a video about the Ocho Cinco and Shannon Sharp situation. That's crazy too. So thank you for reminding me that. Because that's crazy. Yeah, it's on tonight. If you care. Some people do, some don't. I let it be known I'm about reparations. I have no use for these politicians. Thank you, Jay Will. You know you and I are like in syncopation with that. Thank you. He was a pound for pound. He would climb. I remember he had Jake De La Home as his quarterback. C. Smith was tough. He was feisty, you know, one of those guys that you root for and you pull for. I liked him. I liked him. And that's how I used to describe him. He would, and he talked trash about you too. He could talk some trash. He talked crazy yang. He was strong. Yeah. And he's still cool. I see him sometimes doing broadcasts. He's still cool. He was a real one. I don't know what they got heated about. Probably because Michael Irvin was probably back at stage either snorting or pinching something. And I respect Michael Irvin, and he's in my top 5 receivers ever. And he was the leader of that Cowboys offense. He was dude, and he bad in Miami and all that. But his on screen antics, I call him like the black what is it? The rest no one can bite into the Slim Jim. What's his name? Right. And um help me out with rap. He did a commercial for Slim Jim. Um why am I not thinking that cat's name right now? No one better bat into my Slim Jim. That's how Mike Irvin always sounded. And he always sounded like he was amped up and snorting something. So I don't know. But that's what always turned me off by him. But yeah, yeah. Because he got let go. He wasn't really happening for business. He, he's loud. Randy Savage. That's what I'm thinking of. Randy Savage. I call him Black Randy Savage. He'd be like, he all animated. I said, sound like you be snorting back there. Like, yeah, and we're gonna do this. And it was like he's real animated. Sometimes I wonder if he's got an extra substance. I don't know. Like I said, as a player in the rah-rah, but he yeah, he don't really translate well to TV. They had the wrong chemistry. Him and Keyshawn put me to sleep. Paul Pierce was the last thing that kind of saved that show, but yeah. Probably there's a reason why you won't see him after that. I don't think you gonna see him. But they got that new show they're doing, so we'll see. So that's what's going on. I just was taking a peek down there to see, but yeah. So yeah, they when Undisputed went off the air, that was kind of like the last thing. So so anyway, just taking some things. That's all. All right, now keep on hitting these questions up. I see there's more people coming through the views. Let's see what we got. He didn't look good. Caleb looked like his fingers was damaged. They only won that game because their defense and special teams came up big. I think it was Will Lewis, who was the Titans quarterback, with bad picks. And no, Caleb didn't look that good. They were down 17-0 in that game. If Tennessee had half of staying away from just dumb plays and everything, that's a blowout. He didn't look that good. They were very fortunate. Very fortunate. So feel free to ask questions. I welcome them. Feel free. I see I got a few more faces coming through. No, I'm talking whatever you want to talk about, Lynn. I'm glad you are here. There is no limits. If you watch my videos, what you do, anything, so feel free to ask. That's comedy. Now, Lynn, whatever you want to ask, feel free. I'm with all of it. I got no limits. I just go by whatever people present and we play off of that. But this here, what Jay Will just said, is comedy, though. That's a comedy. That's not sports. That's comedy. I know it's a sports team, but that is comedy right there. That he's a comedian. And I did say in the video that uniforms was as bad as his throwing. He threw that one pick. Oh God, he hit dude in stride. That was embarrassing. Hey, I ain't the one signing his checks. He might got some video. He might got some video on the Giants brand. That's the only thing I could think of. Overrated, buffoonery, clown, third tier comedian. And what's the latest thing she did? Because I know about her in Africa. I know about the whole thing with the grocery store. And I see her sometimes hanging out with Jaguar Wright. I do believe her about the whole thing with her and Common, the rapper. And, that's all I got to say about her. I've never been the big Tiffany Haddish fan, but she keeps a hustle going. But I didn't get the whole, but yeah. But yeah, Jay Will, you right about that. I mean, I don't know. He sucks. He got to have a video or something. He got to have video files. He got to have a stream on the ownership. They in for a long season. Bad. Brutal. Bad. No, I ain't heard about her. I ain't heard about the last thing was the Africa situation at the supermarket, which I saw. I ain't heard no more. Oh, okay. No. The last thing I saw that I didn't touch about though was Taraji Henson. She was pretty revealing at some show. Taraji out here stepping out still, trying to get that bag, but nothing. Well, no. I got to find out about the Tiffany thing. If I find it, I'll make a video of it since you mentioned it. But I ain't heard none about her, no comedian. I just know that I saw her because I watched Jaguar Wright, and I saw the video with her kicking it. She walked on the wall. Well, of course. See, look at who she's keeping company with. What you expect. Paris and them, and they're embarrassing, and they're making a joke out of her. What you expect. No, I refuse to, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. And a buddy of mine used to always say, well, won't you do it? I said, no, because if I ever had to pick the Bills or the Patriots or Jets against my team, do you know how sickening that would be? Even if that meant I won money, that would be a nightmare. I had to donate and give the money back. I couldn't do it. Can't do it. So now, wanted to, only if I didn't have to go against my team. You play it? Yeah, I ain't know. Okay, so she's sitting with the Hilton family. That's crazy. And I'm kind of dumbfounded nowadays anyway, because when I still hear about Paris Hilton still being around, because it seems like ages ago. It's like once the Kardashians, all that blew up, that Hilton thing went out of sight, out of view. You know. So anyway, feel free to keep on asking some questions because I want everybody to get stopped right now. What we got? I want people to keep asking. Don't be afraid. You got more. You can talk about entertainment. You want to talk about Jay-Z and the halftime show with Kendrick Lamar? I'm covering that too because that's all connected. The debate tonight. Needs to say this. She's been used and pimped so long that she thinks it's normal, and that's what her because she's been the butt of jokes, you know. And I don't pay attention to her. I don't know if it's mental, you know. I like to say there was something there that would because I just can't believe in good consciousness. That's how she really is. But I don't know. But she's been used. Well, Trevor lost the game in Miami, so I can't really say because their defense gave up some big plays, so that's hard to say. But he might be regressing. I don't know. And Herbert got Harbaugh as his coach. So get to me midway point on that one. Herbert should have a better situation than Trevor, though, of the two, because he's got better talent. But Harbaugh's the coach. We'll see. Do you know her background? I had heard she was in something growing up, you know, as is the case with most of them who get in that industry. Um, there were some antics and some things that went down. I don't know everything what pertains to her. Again, I don't make it a habit of following her because I just think that it's some of the most basic shuck and jive if you can imagine. I never found her to be that funny, but she got hooked up. We talking about everything, entertainment, sports. We haven't really had music conversation. We're just talking about different things. What you want to talk about? And how are you? And welcome aboard. What's happening? What's happening? How you doing? Glad to have you through. We just having different conversations about different things. Everybody, please hit the like. And all the people who haven't signed up, please hit the membership. And more hits coming through. The more the merrier. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. You know it's gonna happen. You know it's gonna happen. We're talking about American football. Um, didn't have any soccer talk. We're just talking about the NFL. But feel free. Kirk Cousins, he stays getting paid. I think she got abused. I think something went down. I can say that. Yeah, I think there was something that I did hear about. But again, she's in an industry that's the sad part when we talk about the entertainment industry. They fester and they feast off of it because that tends to make the bigger the act. And she's had a pretty sized run. She's had a pretty good sized run, you know. But I don't think she got no money though. I don't know what the story is. So I don't know. No, she paid her dues. I mean, she it's like this. How do I say it? She was loud, black, and got hot at the right time. So I don't think she fell off. I just because she had some roles. She still has some juice, so she ain't. She's still in there. It's just that she played a certain type of character, and it worked. O.J. Simpson was a football player. Well, it depends on where you live. Well, it depends how old you are. Depends on where you lived. No, he was football. Okay, I don't know because we only had one game so far. So you have a good tunnel vision. I don't know. I can't even speak that. No, he was a football player, and O.J. Simpson was a big time football player. He was one of the greatest players ever. Well, I went through England too, and what part of England you in? You probably yeah, probably because unless of course you keep up with the sports or watch it or hear someone talk about it, probably wouldn't be something that would register. Well, I don't know if he gonna pass up his brother. I mean, he gonna have a good season. I don't know about that though. JJ was a freak. I don't know. Well, wherever you go, you can learn about different history. I mean, when I was in the States, I learned a lot about British. I've been to Isle of Wight. Um, you learn well with social. See, nowadays with technology, with the YouTube and social media, you got ways to learn stuff. It's not as removed as it once was. It's not where people are stuck to VHS tapes or pictures and stuff. They can actually see things on news and different components. So yeah, I believe in coming on live. I welcome to meet people from different places. I think it's incredible. I'm glad that people like yourself took the time to come through so we can connect, have conversation, and learn. That's what I'm about because it's important. You know, I um, I have ancestry, family in England, as a matter of fact, on Wales. So that's something that I definitely want to explore in the family tree. Heard about an ancestor. Well, you're always welcome. If I'm on, feel free. And, you know, I'm on social media and feel free to join up and sign up and come through because I got conversation and I welcome it. And I'm glad you came through. No, I haven't talked about it. I haven't really done a lot of college football. I think I did the Deion Sanders and Paul Bonafide, the whole thing with the ESPN and stuff. I'm a Michigan Wolverine fan. I ain't really spent a lot of time talking about college football because it's a long season. But as far as Colorado goes, I might do a video and I might not. Deion Sanders in a no-win situation. The same thing that got him where he's at, the same thing that works against him. He was one of the greatest players ever, very charismatic. He won at black college level. Now he's with the regular boys, the big boys, NCAA level, where they're saying they don't think he belongs. Can he prove it? And he's got his work cut out. His problem with Colorado is they don't play no defense and they're inconsistent. And they got a bullseye on their behind because people want to shut Dion up, and they don't like the swag that they. So they trying to make a statement. And he doesn't have the horses to combat it. They're just not that good of a team. You know, they look lost. They look lost. So I don't do no acting. I talk how I feel, and anybody who you ask who follows me on here, I shoot from the hip. Um, I don't. It's no acting. Now, I will tell people if they want to compensate and they want to do the stuff, I'm with that and the support. I welcome that. But I'm not. I don't politic on here. That's why I got in trouble with them. I don't politic on here like that. I have my opinions. I stay strong in my steadfast. But I don't. No. Mm-mm. I don't do go along, get along. I gotta go over for me. Oh, they're gonna basically fill each other off on topics. They're gonna basically talk about what their plans are, their vision. There's gonna be some mudslinging, the kind of stuff that is a headache, because it's basically it's how you connect with the audience. It's not about you know. So it all comes down to which side of what you believe in, if you believe in any of it. Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate that. I don't. No, I don't. I'm not into politics. I'm familiar with it because I'll tell you anybody like that. If you black and you grew up in America, you are familiar with politics without actually being involved in it. Because if you were a part of the school system where you were, yes, I do. I'm on WordPress. I'm also on it's Mr. Max. It's Mr. Max MAXXX 3X's. It's on Patreon. There's also a place called Threads, which is also on the flip side of Instagram. So you can find me. I ain't hard to find. But I write in all different places and I do freestyle videos on this channel too. But yeah, songwriting, I've done it. If you're a poet, you can write songs because you can structure the cadence and the rhythm to a stanza to a chorus and rhythm. So yeah. But back to the thing tonight. They talk about agendas and they will have certain topics they'll get like 3 to 5 minutes to talk on, and that's what it'll come down to. And that's what it's about. They debate. I don't know who actually wins debates on these sort of things because it's all. Thank you so much, Lynn. Appreciate it. Yeah, I did a video about that, and I laughed. Yeah, that video. Yeah, yeah, I did that one last. I saw that and I laughed at Swaggy P. He's a comedian and he funny. Of course, most people say he's only known for the Iggy Azalea. Um, see, this is the agenda. The agenda is now to take everything you remembered about basketball to bring everything to LeBron and Steph Curry. That's what they're doing. They have found a way to wipe out 60 years, 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, 20 years, and make it about. That's what they've done. No, it's got nothing to do with no orientation, nothing like that. If you're a writer, you're a writer. It's a gift. It's a blessing and a gift. Uh, the it's a God given talent. To be a thinking person, to create, to put words uh no. Paul McCartney was a poet. Him and Lennon were poets. So what do you call that? If you got a gift, you got a gift. Communication. Use your mouth, use your mind, use your words, use your heart, use your soul. That's nothing but orientation. That's what I say too. What's up, Ted? Great to have you. About time you came through. Nick Young will make you aggravating. I make you aggravating. It's like the Kanye West 50 Cent troll syndrome, J. Will, because these cats say things for clickbaits and views. And don't make it a secret. Let it be open. Glad to have you, Ted. Welcome. Um, Nick Young, Gil, Kanye, 50, they're like all the same person, trolling, scrolling, bored, say anything to get clicks and views. I don't believe Nick Young and Gil really truly believe the half of that. Okay, Jay Will ask me that. Yeah, and I see it like this. He can give you a moment or two, but he ain't the same. And you know this better than most because you was a Packer fan. If they trail by 10 or more points against a legit team, and you got to remember something, Madsen wasn't even a first round draft pick or a second round pick, and he ran them out the building. If Purdy hits on them passes in the end zone, that's a blowout. Now you got to speak your mind and speak your truth because y'all know you got a mouth, you got a mind, you got, creativity. You should never back down. The Lord gave you senses and feel and touches, so let that come out. That's a gift. He sure do. He be finding running backs. It's kind of like he finds running backs the way Andy Reid used to find backup quarterbacks when Donovan and them used to get hurt and Garcia back in the Eagles day. That's what you remind me of. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. But yeah, if it comes down to Aaron Rodgers happen to be captain, be a hero, they're done. He ain't got it no more like that. He can give you a drive or two, but he done. He done. Cause he threw a couple of decent passes, but he can't. And if he was gonna try to make a comeback last night against the 49ers, game one after he got hurt last year, yeah, he done. That was the stage. Because he hated they never drafted him, but he can't do nothing. And it wasn't like the 49ers was lighting the board up because the dude kicked like 18 field goals. Yeah, it's like Kevin Durant still saying the toe on the line. He lost the game. They lost the game. They lost the game in the first half. And, you know, that's not why you lost the game, Lamar. You stunk. You missed two open looks in the end zone. You're not cut off for pressure. You got that Phil Nicholson syndrome. The man can throw some crazy passes off his back foot, but to finish the deal 5 yards, I saw the difference between you and Patrick Mahomes. It's like Patrick Mahomes and Phil Nicholson, but you're more like Steph Curry and James Harden. I did a video about that. There's a difference. I never let people tell you from your dream and your God given ability. If you let that happen, you might not feel like a reason to live. And don't turn your lights off. Do you? That's what I say. That's how I felt, Jay Will. Because let's go down. Let's do a roll call. Carolina, and I got a buddy of mine who's a Carolina Panther fan. He ain't so much as hit me with a text. The Giants, the Jets, the Commanders, the Broncos. Yeah, it's sad for me to say that because that guy last night looked bad. He looked bad last night. He looked bad. Well, the division's been awful. That's why um everybody was giving Trevor Lawrence all that love because it was but Jason Richardson looked good. He threw some bombs. That was good. That's what I say. Don't turn your lights off. Yeah, well, it's gonna be have and have nots. It's gonna be have and have nots. I think we can safely say that we don't know what the NFC's all gonna produce, but we could say Philly, Frisco, Detroit, and we'll see what Dallas do. And after that, it's a dogfight in the AFC. But the bad teams are bad. Yeah, don't turn your lights off. You have to believe in yourself. Don't let no one tell you otherwise, because you have to believe that you got a God given talent. Mm, if you say so, but you can't be struggling with like that. They had to work. The Giants suck. That was embarrassing. I don't know what sucked worse, the team or them uniforms. They both was equally bad. You beat nobody. Look, Deshaun stunk, and the kickoff punt return, and you got Ezekiel Elliott back. Oh boy, let me see you against a real team. The Yankees won a World Series in 2009. The Cowboys haven't been to won a Super Bowl since 1996. Not quite. Yeah, he hurt. We'll see what happens with y'all. It ain't over. If you can hold down the fort for about 4 or 5 weeks, we'll see. Turpentine. No, the Cowboys aren't like the Yankees in sports because the Yankees have actually were a threat up until 2009. They were in multiple World Series and competing. Jermaine did something bad at the Giants. Oh, that was bad. That was brutal. The Giants are football, and they're baseball too. There's a San Francisco Giants baseball team. There's a New York Giants football team. So yeah, the Giants played Minnesota, and the Panthers played New Orleans, but they were both dreadful games. Yeah, they were dreadful games. I think so. Well, he's talking to him, but I don't know what's going on. Jay Will, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know. Well, if I'm a betting man, I think the Sixers would have a better chance, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't see the Cowboys beating the Philly or Frisk. We'll have to see. I don't know. I would say Philly would have a better chance, though. Mhm. You can play it if you get a bat and a ball and some gloves. They have them in England. I've seen people playing it. All you need is a stick and a ball and a glove. They have them. Darn old look like Mahomes. Who? Darn. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I'll make it. I only want to catch the low lights. There ain't no highlights. Oh man, I caught that now. You a mess for that one. You a mess for that one. Who he playing against? No, he ain't gonna never be mistaken for that because he did throw a bad pick or something he did in that game. So no, don't say that. But I caught that though. I caught you. You're funny. Listen, don't get excited. I ain't beat nobody. But I caught you though. I was funny though. Well, I should be able to catch something. Like I said, I'll catch the lowlights. Kamala has to do bigger tonight, though, because Trump's strong on debates. Well, if you call him an off-brand of Mahomes, that's Junior Whopper cut in half. The Junior Whopper cut in half. That's what he is. That's funny. By the way, I saw your question on Too Raw. You've been asking that Bulls question. You like that question? That's a good one. I did have a bite. I did have a bass. And saxophone is one of my favorite instruments. It's funny you mention that. And blues is one of the most important forms of music, so you definitely channeling good. Had a bass a long time ago. And I love the saxophone. Who's all hype? Sam Darnold? Oh yeah. Who's your favorite bassist? There's a lot of bassists that I love. Let's see. Eli Manning. And that's you said clutch. And I can't stand Eli, but yeah, he got Drew Brees beat. Oh well, I don't really pay Nebraska quarterbacks no hype. But Well yeah. CJ Stroud is nice. They could be on the come up. They could be. Because he was looking pretty poised. I saw some of his passes, but that was a tough game. Richardson surprised me. Okay. I ain't heard no one say Motorhead in ages. Okay. Well, what he does, Lynn, is he has to play the dozens. That's his only way to win. He has to be combative. He got to try to get you out your stanza. He has to try to get you into a street slam in his own way. You know, and he will throw shades and disses and little things, little jokes. But if she can be coy and cool and say, "Hey, didn't you donate to my foundation in 2011, 2012?" So, you know, let me think about that for a moment. Well, you can make the case for Brad Johnson. Who else? And if I say Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson, or Nick Foles, rank them in order who you got because those three come to mind. Dilfer, Brad Johnson, Nick Foles. How would you rank them? But I think I share a few. I like Phil and that or not. Obviously, if you know anything about yeah, the boys are back in town. That was my jam. Phil was bad. Uh his run was better. I remember Nikki Six from Motley Crue. I like Flea. Flea was nice. Oh, mediocre. Mediocre, Ted. Mediocre. He's still getting his feet wet. I think that like when he gets good, he'll be as poised maybe as Troy Aikman and as comfortable as Romo. But mediocre so far. Yeah, well, you said who's the worst. Thank you. He didn't really outplay him in the Super Bowl. Belichick didn't play the boy in the defense. and it was just a free for all. I think they outplayed the Patriots defense. Brady was great in that Super Bowl. They dropped, they just didn't finish. Mm, Not for politics, I wouldn't win, but I appreciate you, but no. I saw the statue of him. I saw the statue of him. And he's always a cool cat. I saw the statue. Yeah, well, listen, from a technical standpoint, he's great. But you see, you gotta have that, what I call that uh you gotta have that, what I call that down home connection. Like Romo got and Troy Aikman got. I mean, he's gonna be okay until he gets, you know, because right now he looks like a guy who should be hosting The Price is Right. He's got the $1 million smile and the vibe, but can he seal the deal with the other thing? And I don't know. But they'll polish him up. He's still a work in progress. He can definitely tell you about the intricacies about certain type of slants and moves, the subtleties of the creases of the ball movement. But Tony Romo does that great already. So I'm just saying. Okay. Lucky on your list, okay. That's all. Just checking some stuff out. I see some more votes coming in, so that's pretty good. 50-50. Yeah, well, most of them are though, Ted. And like I told you, I go back with Chris Collinsworth. He was a borderline second tier receiver when he was with Cincinnati back in the day, and he got hooked up. You should turn it on, and I'd love to read your work. And if you post, I will definitely follow you. I welcome it. We need all more writers we can get. Oh boy, so I did a video of him, and I did what you call kind of middle of the road because I didn't get into all the thoughts of him. Um, he was a great actor, a very strong orator, versatile theatrics. I saw a ton of his movies. I saw the Jack Johnson movie, and um, Great White Hope, and piece of action with him and Sidney Poitier, Bill Cosby, and then Claudine with him and Diane Carroll back in the day, and Bingo Long, the Traveling All Stars with Richard Pryor, Billy D. Williams, and him, and a lot of other stuff. There's a movie about the first black president. He did a movie. I hope you come back. Thank you. But this is where I got to shut it down. He did buck. There was a segment. It's about his grandmother, and she was slavery or something. Something about his grandmother, and he called her racist. What's happening? He he said there's a video out. Yeah, there's a video of him on YouTube. You can look at it. He shuffled. He shuffled. He the Darth Vader, and he had the voice, and of course he was Alex Haley in Roots, the TV show. That's another thing I remember him in, and um I saw a lot of his work. Like this talent. What I always tell folks, separate the art from the person because you won't get your feelings hurt. He's one of them. He's one of them. You know. Um, yeah, that's how I would describe it. I mean, when I say Hollywood, they bought and paid for. You gotta remember, you work them agency, you work them markets. Cats know how to act. Ask them about social activity or activism, and do they take a stance on something? That's a whole nother. They liked him because he was theatrical and entertaining. But remember something too. he was a leading man without being a leading man. And let me explain. He had leading roles, but he wasn't sex symbol status. No Diddy. No Diddy. Yeah. Mufasa, which I liked, and of course, the Darth Vader, and then Coming to America, Field of Dreams, and they were crossover accessible roles. And he had a deep voice and he had a controlling authoritative nature, but he wasn't a guy that you sat and thought, oh, I gotta clutch my purse. Yep. Remember that line. Yep. So when you ask about a lot of these cats in Hollywood or sports or entertainment industry and black, they usually bought and paid for. And there's a line that if they're not, they're bought and paid for, that their image will be protected. I'll give you an example right now because I'm contemplating if I want to do the video or not. It's about Prince, the Prince that you didn't know. We never knew. That's what's on the New York Times right now. That's making a circle. It's about his personal life and the imagery and how how you look at somebody one way and then they're very normal another way. But it's the mystery and the aura of how it's pushed. So we have to make sure we protect the bottom line. But he was, you know, I had followed his work, so I did a video about that. Jay-Z, I'm sure Drake is because that's got to do with Lil Wayne. That's Lil Wayne company. And Nicki Minaj didn't dissed. I did a video about it. It's coming. They dissed Jay-Z something awful. Birdman, they let him have it. Come to find out, Jay-Z saying I really don't have that no say on all that. But it's politics involved. I think it's more because of Lil Wayne more than it is about Drake. But it's in New Orleans though. So Jay-Z got to explain that one. Your boy Ho forgot explaining. Oh, been on the years, and I tell you like this. Once they get done with Puffy, he's the next one they go after. It's admirable. And I did the video about Beyonce didn't get no country music award nominations. They're coming after him next. Damien Dash situation. Look between the lines. The Jay-Z situation is coming. It's coming. One of my 2 to 3 greatest actors ever. And they're not coming after Drake. Drake's small fish. If they want to knock Drake out, they'll knock him out in a year or two. He's still worth money. They're not gonna touch him yet. But Jay-Z's bigger fish to fry after Puffy. I know where you're going at with that, but there's somewhere along the lines he would cancel out 50 or something. It'll be something that you didn't see. Big Denzel as an actor. And he keeps his business pretty low, you know. He has his political beliefs. He has his way of doing things. He's just been very low key about his business. I mean, there's things that's out there about him, but he tends to keep his business. No, he talked about it. He talked about what they tried to ask him to do when he was coming on. What he did do, the best thing he never did was do a lot of comedy movies because his comedy wasn't that good. So he stayed to action and walk out. Oh, so Jay-Z, associated with Roger Goodell, NFL commissioner, and they picked a halftime show. So the big news is that Kendrick Lamar was picked to New Orleans, and Jay-Z supposed to had a hand in that. And so Lil Wayne's managing him got upset. And then, of course, the whole thing with Kendrick and Drake. And Kendrick was at the Super Bowl just 2 years ago in L.A. with Dr. Dre, and first being a protege of Dr. Dre and associated with Snoop and 50. And Eminem had 50 come on and Mary J. Blige and all that. And see, when you host a show, even though you can bring people, Do you know how awkward this is? Because Jay-Z and Birdman fell out, but they patched up apparently, and Jay-Z and Lil Wayne fell out, they patched up. But then you got the whole thing with Lil Wayne, Drake, and then you got Kendrick front and center, and it looks like a takeover, and it is a colossal mess. It looks like this was done on purpose. And now Jay-Z's like, well, I really don't have no say about how this goes down. So it looks like there's some trolling. It is crazy. Do we care about the football game of the Super Bowl? Or are we gonna care about the halftime show? Because this is so crazy that it's like, what will be more interesting? Who makes it to the field to play in the game? Who makes it to the halftime show to perform? This is the craziest thing I have ever encountered. There have been years when we see who the halftime show is, and we're like, okay, this thing, Jay-Z messy. It could be messy. And one thing for sure, you can bet your bottom dollar that them owners are they don't. First of all, they don't care about black for entertainment, but they know Kendrick is hot right now. Come on now, unlike us, it's huge. Yep, there you go, Ted. Well, this about the money. So y'all mess up out there. We told the world what y'all about. Y'all going out there and act crazy and shit. We fine with it. We gonna come sit back here and eat the money. Y'all just go ahead and act. Yeah, yeah, it's messy. Cause I didn't seen words. Nicki Minaj came out and dissed Jay-Z something horrible. Called him a sellout. And said one man took a knee, the other one took the bag. I'm cracking up. Nicki was on firing on cylinders last night. They just taking shots left and right. It's crazy. Some people were saying, can't black folks just get along? Can't y'all just, I say, look, this was just crazy. Yep. And it is. And the thing about it is, they don't have anybody pop. Well, see, let me play the elephant in the room. The biggest white act right now, right, can't play the Super Bowl. You know who that is? You get one guess. The biggest white act right now can't play the Super Bowl because guess who that is? I'm gonna see if you call out the person's name and you tell me that this don't look like a stunt left and right. Let's see who you got. Yep. And since her boyfriend's got the Bo Bridges broke Magnum PI duff on his head, witness protection program, looking like Weekend at Bernie's. If you see the movie Weekend at Bernie's, you look at him, you understand what I mean. It looks so bad, right? And they can't bring Bruno Mars back again. Bring back Beyonce again. Look at the options you got. You don't have much. Now, it's not like New Edition couldn't be asked, but that's not what they want. They want what's hot and happening. This is a mess. It is a mess. On aisle 5. I pick up on aisle 5. Come on in. So this is what we're dealing with. So far, 11 votes are in. 55% say no, they're not excited about the debates tonight. That's cool. Appreciate the votes. They're coming in. Yeah, I do. And Jaguar Wright did a video about it, how he got hooked up with Anderson .Paak. Yeah, I mean, 20 years ago in 04, he had a cocaine bust, and it was known. The gambling thing, he's got to be in Vegas. And again, it's very, yeah, but not surprising. Talented dude, but got some addiction. So I bet that was. Yeah, I bet that. It came up late on me about it because because Trump was acting so funny and coy about doing it. So they finally doing it. Yeah, well, see, Ted, that tells you all you need to know. In 2024, that's the big news because them owners ain't stupid. They got to do it because if they want to get aggressive and quick and win, they got to do it. They're just doing what should have been long ago done. That's why when people ask me who the greatest quarterback, like, and they ask me about the last, I said, when we talk about black quarterbacks, we only really talking about the last 20 years. I mean, where you can have real debates. No one's going to include Doug Williams, Warren Moon. Moon should have been. Doug Williams and Randall Cunningham later win. They're not going to get debated in the top 12 all time because it wasn't the norm. You're seeing the so-called norm the last 20 years. Yeah, they don't. They got no choice, though, because Cats is faster. That's what's up. You know that it's real when Jerry Jones has to pay Dak Prescott that kind of money because he don't have nothing else behind him. Nothing. That's why Jacoby Brissett can still play a quarterback. When he should he? Yeah, he a good backup. But come on now. That's how bad it is. 12 votes are in. They had Anthony Wright. He just didn't turn out all right. He was a quarterback for them. They did have him in there. They had him. They did have him. But just didn't turn out. His criticism is his front office. That's his real criticism. You know, there is a black guy who is employed by him with a pretty important title, but he lied about the whole Denny Green thing. He did. You figure that out. You figure that out. All them owners got pulled. Robert Kraft been hooking up Brady too. Probably got him a good divorce lawyer too. That was a gangster move right there, if it's true. He sure did. I might do it tomorrow. If I get back at a certain time, because I got to step out tomorrow, I might do it tomorrow. Yeah, my notifications be acting kind of funny, but if you periodically kind of back and forth, I try to do like 2 a week. So I might do it tomorrow. Because I get back, I probably will try around this time tomorrow. And I hope you do come back. I'm always glad to have you. I'm wishing you the best and a great evening. But yeah, I'll try to come back tomorrow. It might not be for as long as tonight, because tonight I'm going 2 hours plus. So like another 25 minutes I'm going to be on. But yeah, I would welcome that. He didn't want him to stick around. But Romo was shot. But he fits in good with that gig. I might talk about the debates tomorrow, even though I don't expect much out of it. Kamala's got to watch how she words things. She has to say things in a way where the best to you always, Lynn. Appreciate you. Um, she has to say things in a way where he's gonna be snarky. He's gonna definitely try to get a rise out of it. So you gotta be, if you do tip for tap, you gotta make sure that you are, you know, sticking to the facts. So, well, it's gonna be interesting. Don't move. I gotta share this. I'm just pushing this out real quick. Don't mind me. Things been acting up. Putting this thing up here real quick. So yeah, just adding this thing real quick. Okay. So let's keep it going. Yeah, appreciate you too, Lynn. Thank you. Okay, where everybody at? Come on now. See what we got. Had to post those notifications out. Anybody still on? Please, please, please say something. See what we got. Yeah, we got through talking about Jerry Jones. So what's up? What's up? Okay, yeah, okay. Got any questions? Feel free to ask. I see Sport and Pay. Appreciate you back. Back now. Waiting for questions. Anybody got any questions? Questions. Topics you want to talk about, feel free. Yeah, feel free. I did the video today. I went over about week one. You know, I talked about what I saw. It was some bad teams and some bad quarterbacks. And it was pretty brutal, you know. Not that good. You give 28 points to Arizona. Special teams gave one, and Kyler Murray looked pretty good in the first half, and you had to come back on them. Not that good. I thought it was kind of sloppy. I thought they did enough to win like they supposed to. There was actually an upset alert. They were actually picked to beat the Bills. I'm not really that impressed. It's a win, but it's not something that I would get excited about. You know, sometimes there are wins that you get and there are wins that are good wins. That's just the win that they got. They got their work cut out. They got to do better. They're playing Miami Thursday, so that's going to be huge. So he's trying to make his inroads. You know, he kind of looks like that good used car salesman that says you're a nice car, and he looks like he should be hosting the prices right. He's got the pearly whites and the suits and the fresh hairdo, and the makeup is right and the attitude is right. It's just that, do you have character? Or are you just a good salesman? He will learn. Think if he studies with how Troy Aikman blends in and then Tony Romo, he can talk the intricacies of the game, you know. but can he engage people where tidbits, you know? Because that's what people want, is a personality from him. They never really knew him. You know? Tom Brady's kind of got like the Tom Cruise syndrome. It's a cat that's charismatic and got personality for days, and people will pay, but yet it's kind of like if he talks too much, does that cool aura fade, and can he connect? So he got his work cut out. So that's how I look at him. You know, he can. You know, if they put the work on him, they can make him, bring him up to standards if they do. But it all depends, though. Because you know, that's the only reason why he's not back on the football field. And you know, they told him a 10-year deal because he probably would have done a 5. He crazy enough, you want to go back. Yeah, and it shows. But they have already barred him from going to locker rooms. A part of being a Raider, part owner. And the Raiders could use him right now. I saw Garner Minshew, who looked good on that one drive for the Raiders against the Chargers, but then he started to stink it up. There's a reason why the Eagles just let him walk. The Raiders could be in for a long season, so don't be surprised they say, "Hey Brady, you want to play?" No, he was he's the rookie Raiders quarterback. Sure. No, oh, you talking about, no? There was a so you know I get a lot of stuff sent to me for stories, and I have different things. There was a segment that came out. I did a video. It's coming on a video. There's a segment that came out that he barred as, oh, Rich Eisen. It's Brady rules. Yeah, it's on the Rich Eisen thing because it was about a week ago. Because I did a video about it. Yeah, they got rules and clauses. He can't just fraternize with the other team. Yeah, it's real. Yeah. That's the first time I ever heard an owner be putting, yeah. And so the comment section was crazy. It was on Rich Eisen. It was about a week ago. Oh, yeah, he want to play. Giselle didn't want him to play no more. She wanted him to retire after, I want to say after they beat the Rams, but he wanted to keep going. Well, they worried that they'll be doing Bradygate. I'm telling you, there's a trade-off. It's the owners too. They need him, but they don't want him. He still sells the game, but they don't want him because, yeah. I'm like, look, y'all tripping. Y'all being real petty. You know, Tom Brady's size up right now with the Raiders. Ain't nothing can save the Raiders. I mean, they got a good running game, but let's not get it twisted. I watched the lowlights of that game against the Chargers, and the Chargers started to wear them down, and that was it. I wish you would. Oh, the comedians sucked. I mean, they were loud and cursing and talking trash, but they didn't connect. They would never have me. Look, I think he's one of the greatest players ever and arguably the greatest quarterback ever. But at the same time, I'd be like, you can't let this man get through. Balls get deflated, feelings get deflated. You know, you can't have it. You know, how you be up there hugging up on the owner and you and a head coach act like y'all hate each other? Come on now. But, Well, appreciate that. But the thing about Brady, I would just say, yo, you know about them Bill Belichick, old mean, crotchety, old mean, all stoic. Oh, now you got that young girlfriend. I don't see how you gonna be mean. You like you grinning now on TV. And nobody want to touch you no more. What you do it all the time? And Giselle, you make more money, but you bought and paid for. You sought out somebody that could give you some credibility after Leonardo DiCaprio. So I understand. Um, yeah, I saw that. I didn't touch it. I might do a video about it. I might do it. Yeah, and everybody know how AB turned out because AB got that Kanye in him. He talk crazy. So you know how that turned out. Yeah, they trying to take this. Well, Deshaun, somebody's out to get him, and it ain't the timing couldn't be even worse for him because right now he sucks. He look bad. So somebody's out to get him. They trying to definitely take him out. Used to be you'd pay off enough money. If he was looking better, I don't think we hear this. But I think because of how low he is right now, they'll probably come out the woodwork. No, they're not coming after that. That's two different things because Roethlisberger had rings. But you're absolutely right. Deshaun went to one um, AFC Championship game, and they should have beaten Kansas City up, and they choked it. And after that, and then when they took D Hop away, and then the owner said that the inmates are running asylum, he made a loaded remark. That whole mess in Houston went kapoom. They weren't the same, and he never was the same. And then everything went down. He lost 2 years of his career. Oh yeah, they used to. I gotta watch how I say this, but grape soda burger. That's what they used to call him. You can figure out what I'm saying, but the grape soda burger, the stories I heard about that turkey being in the room with the one girl and she came back out and he said, oops, no clothes. Oops, I did it again. Mm-hmm. They let him get away with whatever he wanted to. But because he got married and he got the kids and the dog and the house and got the white picket fence and he's a conservative, they let him go. Oh yeah. They They got him covered. And don't be surprised if he runs for political office in a couple of years. He won't be as dumb as Drew Brees and put his foot in his mouth to what he says. So that's what happened with him. That's what happened with him. I see more people coming in the views. Come on in if you want to. Come on in. Well, he got married. He got the kids. And the good news that's happening for him is that the Steelers suck at quarterback, so that helps his cause out a lot. I saw him in the stands or something, but they protected him. Mm-hmm. He been protected. He's been protected. Most of them are. Yeah, he looked good. He looked good. Well, Houston got a nice squad, you know. So I think that's gonna be a nice fit. I think that's the next. Yeah, he didn't lose a thing. Cincinnati just didn't want to pay him. They have a reputation for that. Yeah, Joe Mixon is nice. 'Cause 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 Joe Yeah, they played good. I mean, they played old school smash mouth football. They got physical with them, and they didn't let them get deep. They did but they can't play like that every Sunday. That means you'll be in some games, but if you ever get against a team that can unload on your butt, you might get blowed out. But he can coach guys up. That was the most patriot way looking team I seen post Tom Brady that the Patriots have looked. They didn't look like that with Belichick since before Brady. Excuse me. Yeah, he knows it got expectations too. He's familiar because I think Belichick will give him at least 2 or 3 years to get it together. But he doesn't really have much to work with. That's why I got Brissett back at quarterback. So do a little something now. Yeah, I seen him. They got him from Tennessee, I believe. Forgot. Or what was it I hear? What was it from? I forgot where I heard he's from. But anyway, he alright. He can run. You gonna keep on missing them days because that's another era ago. That's a lifetime ago. I remember he was like the Cal Ripken of quarterbacks. He took shots and he kept going. Well, girls are different now. So just seeing what we got. Pretty much it should be. I don't imagine guys will play like that no more. Different era. But you gotta remember he was a third string dude who was back up to Don the Magic Man and then made himself into one of the best to ever do it. So he probably didn't want to give that up. He know how hard he had to fight to get that. So I understand. He already has. And I mean, he would when you consider he's been a two-time league MVP and people have downplayed him, and he knows he can get over on his coach, even though his coach got a ring, but eh, they're not coaching him the right way. Well, he probably has to because they've underachieved. I mean, like I said before, Harbaugh won with Joe Flacco. You gonna tell me a guy that had a guy like Joe Flacco deals better than with a guy that's a two-time league MVP, and you're not helping him? So They look good. They look good. The Lions gonna get better. They gotta, they not finish up games. That's big. Yeah, you got that right. Because without a camera and that being where he was, you got that right. That was not a good look. That's what Kaepernick was telling them. So yeah, he did. Well, yeah, because Tariq said, "Don't leave me, brother," and that was true. That's true. But he got arrested, and they were trying to mess with him too. He spoke real talk. I saw Stephen A. trying to ask him, "Well, can you elaborate what this means?" I said, "Look, man, they pull you to the ground." I was watching out for the brother. I watched it. They did a camera duo interview on different forums yesterday. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm gonna be on for about 8 more minutes because I've been on for 2 hours plus. So actually, I'm on for about 20 more minutes. That way, everybody want to come by and got any questions or anything? Got 20 minutes of good. Okay, well, thank you. Was it about that video about San Diego, about the black man in San Diego? Yeah, that video was very disturbing. They shot up his window. Guy was in the car, and yeah, they manhandled it. That was very disturbing video. Very disturbing. As a matter of fact, on one of my a woman I follow on WordPress and also follow on Instagram, she lives in that area, and she said that was all over the news. So yeah, I had to bring that to light. Very sad and disturbing. But thanks for letting me know that, Ted. I'll look his videos up. As I think I know the video mentioned. Asking me which one? That's a great question. As a matter of fact, I might make that into a video because you gave me an idea, and I'll still do it as a video because it's so good that I will expound on it, and I'll give you a shout out for that one. Um, that's the kind of question that wakes my soul up, and I'm gonna do it here, and I will do it in the video, and I might say the same things, but anyway, people who not here to listen, um, I will make it even bigger. But what I'll do is I'll make it a future date one. Um, for when I make it live, if you understand what I'm saying. My answer is simple. It's Bo. Are you kidding me? Bo Jackson was a freak. You know, um, Dion was great as a two-sport athlete. Like he could play. He was great at football on both sides. He was a very good baseball player. But Bo Jackson was an all-star, all-pro at both. Had the commercial, had the endorsement, had the it was another level. I don't know if I'd say Penny would have been a top 10 all time. I can tell you Bo would have been top 5 running back. I can say that. I'm gonna tell you why I can't say it about Penny. He wasn't better than Shaq. Kobe wasn't better than Shaq. Not when Shaq was prime peak. And then we start talking Bird, Magic, Jordan, Duncan, Russell, Chamberlain, Kareem. And then you have to debate after that. So that's kind of hard to say. Whereas with Bo, I could unequivocally say, had he stayed healthy and nothing happens, he'd been everything Herschel Walker never turned out to be, and he would have been in the same conversation with OJ, Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, Walter Payton. He'd have been in that argument. I don't know if we missed out on him because it all depends on who's playing with him. You know, I don't know if how that would have been against him and Kobe. I don't know. I liked him a lot. He was athletic and he was big and agile, and I don't know. But I can't say he would have. Bo was it was Bo knows. Bo was iconic, yo. Bo was like everybody knew Bo. Penny the puppet was bigger than Penny. When Chris Rock did the Penny the puppet, you couldn't do a Bo Jackson doll because he was live. I don't say go to neither one. I did my video and I laughed at it. I saw what he said. Offensive go how? Yeah, he'll score 30,000 points, but let me ask you this. Was he a better scorer than Jordan was? Was he a better scorer than Kobe was? Was he a better scorer than Wilt Chamberlain was? Was he a better scorer than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was? You know, those guys. And um, had he not gotten hurt, had he not been so fragile, yeah, I might make a case for him. I think that's what's hurt. There's some knocks against him. He's had some injuries which have taken him out, which some of it's avoided, some isn't. And then he's bus hopped from teams to teams. His offensive skill set, I might say, is top 10. I can't say his offensive game or what he's put out. You know, I'd like to see it where it manifests. But James Worthy, I think he's getting bought and paid for. That's what I'm thinking. I can't see it. Depends on which era you see KD. The problem with KD is this. Yeah, he's got more points and probably more of a better athlete than Steph Curry, but Steph Curry changed the course of basketball. And Steph Curry won with him and won without him. So that works against you. And offensively, you can't even start offense today without thinking about what Steph's done. Is Steph Curry a top 5 offensively? Because when Steph's all said and done, if he has 25 plus thousand points or he's pushing 30,000 points, then every box you put there gets checked off because Steph matched it with just doing what he did. You know, so. And if Steph just does a year or two where he just stat pads numbers and is pushing 25 to 30,000 points, well, then you make a strong case because as an offensive force, he changed the course. You talking about in his house? You talking about like when he looking up at the lights in his house when you say a higher ceiling? Is that what you talking about? You talking about that higher ceiling? You talking about like when he's looking up at the ceiling, he's in his lazy boy and he's looking up and he sees the ceiling, he got a mirror and he can look down. Is that what you talking about? Now, how are you gonna have a higher ceiling when a man was the most dominant of his era? And Wemby has to have a guard that complements and he has to win. I can tell you unequivocally, Shaq took 3 different franchises to the finals. I could tell you unequivocally, Shaquille O'Neal changed up his game. We know defensive player of the year don't mean much, so that's not your argument. They got to win games. Games. You got to win games. Gobert wins defensive player of the year, and how's that worked out? Games, man, games. I like Wemby. I think he got something going for him, but they have to win games. He's got to show the potential that he can win on the level. We can't go by, we got to go by wins. If this cat gets his team to the playoffs, then we can start talking. When you start saying a higher ceiling than Shaq, the reason why they're not getting along is because he probably runs his mouth too much. He brought them a chip, but I think there's some tension going on. They're not getting along. That means somebody wants some money. So I don't know what that's gonna mean now. I know they just re-signed Jamal Murray, so I don't know what that's gonna mean. Well, that may be the only way that Luka wins a ring. Dirk said he wanted that. That'd be hard to see him leaving when he got 3 MVPs in the finals chip and all that in Denver. Unless, of course, they just know that they don't have a chance. That's interesting that you said you could see him going there because I heard Dirk come out and say he wanted him to go there. But I don't know. I don't know. Well, they got to have pieces there. And if you get like 4 heads for Rudy Gobert, you got to give up 8 to 10 to get Jokic. So I don't know. Let's see. Everybody getting kind of quiet now, so let's see. I'm on for about another 7 minutes. Unfortunately, unfortunately, the low lights. It was bad. I had to turn the mess off. Texas is like a man out there. There's a man child game. They ran all over Michigan. Texas quarterback looked poised. They didn't get no real pressure on him. He was hitting flaps. He was hitting sweet spots. It was body blows. Texas looks scary. And Eli, the Manning kid is going to be going there. He's coming up next, so they could be a dynasty. They got a chance to make a run. Yeah, I already told you before. I think I said it. Michigan this year, they're looking at the Dorito Bowl. They're not a threat to nothing. It's all Doritos this year. I expect Ohio State and Penn State to beat them. Michigan State will be a problem. It's no easy games when you're lacking defense. So yeah, well, yeah, they had a nice run. That's my buddy who's a Carolina Panther fan. That's his other team. I ain't heard nothing. They won their second game, but they got smashed the first game. So, but we already know they had a good run though. And you know, I'm not the biggest Debo fan, but you inspire me with the bow and penny thing. I'm gonna do that one, but I'm not gonna release it for a minute. But I'm gonna do that one because that is a good video. And any ones that you think of like that, I appreciate it. That's a real good video. The funny story is that between the both of them, they both were pulled in by corporate media in different ways. Bo, because he was so good in that timing, and Penny because they were trying to figure out a way to get him more attention. Okay. People don't like Angel Reese for reasons that are not basketball related, but it will happen to all of them. They will make a they want to make say stuff. It happens to them all. Yeah, it's crazy. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, they will. They sure will. I know they will. I got a couple more minutes before I be on because I've been on for 2+ hours and glad everybody came through. Because, okay, that's a great question. Because it's like the Beirut syndrome or something that they didn't really want to simulate, but they root for vicariously. So it's kind of like with everything. It's in music, as you see it play out in music, and more they play it out because it's almost like they don't feel like they really belong. But it's been sold in a way that so and so such a great talent that they are, and they know that so and so is a great talent. But when it comes to that, the competitiveness brings out that in them, and that's why it comes off like so racial. And it's always been that way from Babe Ruth onwardly, and love to romanticize it. It gets romanticized. I think they expect folks to kind of be like nonchalant about it because it's kind of like if you're professional and you win. But the thing about it is this, because it comes with so much heaviness, it's a big deal. But then it becomes a cross of is it really a big deal? Because you got to come back into American set base if that's what your situation is. So it's a dual and a tricky proposition. But the thing about it is why they don't want us excited is because it's like we still own you. Because think about it, even if you do beat them, you're still getting paid by someone who looks like them's ownership. That's all I'm saying. And the only thing in overhype in sports is because again, they somehow got this delusion that not only with the ownership, but the people are superior, so they get excited because it's almost like, oh, you're here. And they never did fully integrate the proximities properly. Yeah, I know Jackie Robinson, Larry Doby, and then football and basketball, but they haven't welcomed it. Because to me, the real one would be when we get to sports, the ownership. Right. Anyway, yeah, he died being frustrated too. But he also bucked them in the court martial of Jackie Robinson. You ever seen that at the UCLA? So it's kind of like a strange trade off. So he went through a lot, a lot. Yeah. He played Miami Thursday. Yeah, I think I've touched on about Jackie Robinson. He did some. There were some things political. He was conservative, but he always spoke out against different things. His wife is still alive too. Rachel Robinson is 100+ years old. She looks great. Yeah, it's a big test for the Bills. They got to play Miami. That's a big test. So yeah, take this thing real quick. It was a sorry field. No one wanted to play in Brazil. It was not a good field, but that's what the NFL wanted. So you know how they go. No rhyme or reason. I'm trying to think. I'll probably be back on the same time tomorrow. I should be. I definitely come back. It was horrible. It made me think of the old Oakland Coliseum field. The Oakland A's and the Raiders played, and that field was horrible and broke down. And people being so cheap. It's horrible. But till somebody does something significant happens, and they're like, well, and you know, it's dreadful. If I can, I will try to. I will definitely try to do that because my systems are kind of off. And YouTube has messed up with some of my things. I heard the elder talking about it too. So if I can, I will definitely. But I'm glad everybody that came through. Appreciate everything. And I will be working on some new videos though. So, and watching this debate. So appreciate you. Thank you always. Stay blessed, stay strong, stay cool, stay right. Appreciate everybody that came through. Some great comments, great commentary. Which Netflix one would you rather see, the Vince McMahon or the Prince one? Okay. But it won't do nothing against him, though. They might now because he old and don't mean nothing to him. Till they probably Harvey Weinstein him. Well, it's going to be, but it's not going to be. It's not going to change what's happened because it's kind of like after the fact. You know what would be a wild documentary before I go, which could have implications, would be Dana White. That would be compelling right now. But they're not going to do that. It's too much money involved. See, if they were to do it right when someone is happening, that's gangster. That's how you know Dana White is protected because he is the modern day Vince McMahon. Think about it. Yeah, Kraft would be. Because Kraft got more covers and as much coverage as Jerry Jones got. And they make him out to be this soft, docile old man. The way they sell Robert Kraft is hilarious. It's hilarious. He's like this gentle Pillsbury dough roly. Cracks me up. No one will ever know about how much they fine the Patriots and the massage parlor and the Bounty Gate. I mean, not the Bounty Gate, but the this gate and that gate. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bounce on. Appreciate everybody. Thanks again. Glad you came through. Probably won't be up on not as long tomorrow as I do it today, but glad I came through though. Appreciate you. Oh yeah, because he's trying to get a job and he's got that little bit of unsolved business with Don Shula. And I'm gonna tell you something before I go. We can discuss it another time. The Bills, the Eagles are circling for him. Maybe the 49ers. It's gonna be one of those kind of teams. It won't be Dallas. He would never work for Jerry Jones after he dealt with Robert Kraft. Only a place where he can get his own groceries. Bills, Eagles, 49ers. And it has to be a team that's in title contention. Because if Belichick really wanted his own revenge, he could go to Baltimore. You know him and Lamar would be interesting. Just saying, because he did like Lamar. That's a tidbit. I think there's about 3 or 4 teams that he would definitely circle that have to be Super Bowl contending. He wouldn't mind messing with Burrows, but Burrows is a little too cool and he's a little bit set in his ways. But there's definitely 4 or 5 spots he wouldn't mind. Push came to shove. All right, I'm out now. Peace out. Thank you. Appreciate you. Peace.